We're live on Facebook now. I have some of our clients with us on this live, and here we're going to build out your sales team's end of day reports and dashboards in under 10 minutes using Airtable. Now, I've used ClickUp, I've used Monday, I've used Asana, all of those tools. Nothing compares to Airtable with its flexibility and its ability to automate so many different things in business. So what we're going to jump in today, without further ado, is the build out where we're going to build out your dashboards, the end of day forms, and we might set up some automations here. And guys, if you have any questions along the way, just let me know. And for anybody in the audience, if you want the exact template, either you can build it out and take that time to build it out. It's good to learn Airtable, or I'll drop a link for $47 for you guys to get it. You get the whole access to the whole system. So does that sound good, guys? You're ready to rock? Cool. Awesome. So, boom. Here's how cool the Airtable dashboards can look. You're just looking at one of our leads dashboard that we connected to Go High Level. And it takes all of our leads from Go High Level and then organizes it inside of Airtable. So we have everything right here on our leads and how much we're getting each month and from where, and the individual leads that come in through here. So all of this Go High Level information is being zapped over to Airtable to create these beautiful dashboards so we can make data-driven decisions instead of emotional-based ones. So this is just one example of a dashboard inside of Airtable. If you guys haven't used Airtable before, the coolest things are the automations. So basically when something happens, you can delegate tasks, you can move things over to Slack, you can just have a really good communication inside of Airtable, and we've automated a shit ton of processes in here. And then the first thing where we'll be building out of is our the data side of things, where you create the data inside of there and also the forms. The additional cool thing inside of Airtable is it does have AI. So now you're able to build things out directly in here using AI. So just some cool things around Airtable. And where I always like to start is starting from scratch with something new. And you can just go down here in the bottom left-hand corner and hit create. I usually start from scratch. I don't start with those apps. So with our sales end of day reports, we just hop in here. We can rename this, boom, money. If you guys want to know how to put in these emojis, if you have a Mac, it's Control Command Spacebar. It's really easy to get these up. And sales EOD reports, boom. And we'll name that, and we'll just put the same title up at the top for this base. And guys on the call, if you guys have any questions for me, feel free to pop them in the chat, and then Lauren will shoot them over to me. But with this, I always like to start with a blank slate, so I just delete those three things. And with the end of day reports here, we want to start with the date. So in this column, the main column, I'm just going to add a calendar here and put in date, boom. And I'm going to put this in here, all sales EOD reports, something like that is good. And we'll put in the really basic information right now and then expand on it. So number of booked calls, and then we can select a number from here. And you can change the decimal points right here. So there's not going to be a half booked call. So we're just going to go with that. So then your sales team will be able to put in the number of book calls that they had that day. And then, boom, you can put in this. No shows. And Lauren, can you work on the muting? So no shows that day is going to be another good number to track here. Boom, no shows, boom. And let's put this total units sold. You can select a number there and then put this at 0. Cool. And boom. What's really cool about this is we can do a close percentage for that day. And this is going to be a formula function. And you can put in any formula you would like here. So we're going to first add show rate or number of showed calls. Check. Showed. Boom. Number. Perfect. Put this at that. Cool. And we want to change this to the date formula. And then put this as responsible. Boom. And add in the user function there. So now we have some basic information in here that we can start filling this out and getting some numbers in there. So let's say it's today, boom. There were 4 calls on the calendar, 1 person no-showed, we sold 1, and then we had 3 people that showed. And let's add in some more information here, boom, total revenue. We'll just call this new revenue with a bank, boom. And we can put a currency on this, and all the clients here, you guys will be getting this, so you won't need to build this out. And you also have it in the business OS. So, and then we can also put in, boom, money, new cash, sweet, and currency, perfect, awesome. So let's put that next to total units sold. And then we can also put in a close percentage here as well. Close percentage with a formula function. And this will be, boom, how many actually showed. And then before that would be total units sold. Boom. And formatting for this, we'll add in a percentage and create. Sweet. So that day, Myco closed at 33%. And let's say for this deal, new revenue was $10,000 and new cash collected was $10,000. So that's great. And boom. Got that in there. You can do other formula functions like new revenue per booked call, which would be a good number to know, or cash collected upfront per new unit, which would be like if we had $10,000 in new revenue and $5,000 of new cash, then that would be 50% collected up front. So that's a good number to know as well. But we're getting the initial information in here. Boom. So then we can put in, right, notes, boom, that your sales team members can fill out end of day. And we've got version 1 of that up for the end of day reports. So, Lauren, are there any questions up until this point?
We've got some questions in the comments here with our clients on Zoom. So Rory was curious to know, is this like a revenue calculator?
You can create a revenue calculator for sure. We already have that inside the business OS. So if you go in there and go to the offers section of the business OS, you can see an offer calculator in there. So the answer is no. This is end of day reports, but we have that offer calculator.
And then Will had a question in regards to something that he's been using in Google Docs, and he'd like to systemize that into Airtable.
Yes, so what is that? Just pop it in the chat. That'd be great. Any other questions?
Not for now.
All right, sweet. So we're going to go into interfaces and we're going to go into how to automate this over to Slack as well. So you don't need to go in here each time. You can just send, when your sales team fills this out, then all of the information can be zapped over, not zapped, natively automated over to Slack. So you just have one channel to read all the end of day reports, which is really nice. So next thing is forms. There are two types of forms in Airtable. What I really like now is their newer forms that look like this. And you can put information up at the top with, boom, let's see, helper text. So if you want to give people a better understanding of what you mean by each of these sections, you can just click helper text right here. How many calls were on your calendar at the start of the day or something like that? Boom. How many prospects showed up to the calls? Boom. How many prospects didn't show? Sweet. Boom. How many units did you sell? Sweet. How much contracted value did you bring in today? Boom. How much new cash collected did you bring in today? Sweet. Cool. We got that. And boom. What is today's date? There we go. So now we have an end of day form that your salespeople can fill out. And then I'll show you how to get more information in here and more clarity. What I'm doing right now is just making these all required fields. So they have to fill it out. Boom. And I'm going to get you one more thing. Let's go to the end of day reports here. Lauren, are there any more questions at this point before we go into the next section?
Yes, we have some great questions. So the first one is, how do you have 2 salespeople fill these out?
How do you have 2 salespeople fill this out? That is through, boom, this, boom. Add in the responsible field, boom. Select your user card, boom. And then, boom, make this required. That's good to go, required field. And what we might want to put in notes is something like this. Boom. Oh, something conflicted. Let me see if this will work. We'll put that up here. Okay, I'll work on that. But what we just did with the form was we added in the responsible section. And what we can do here is duplicate this and call this Myco's EODs. And then filter this by user. This is responsible is Myco. And then we can duplicate this and call this Larry's EODs. and filter this by Larry. So then we just have those separated by different sales reps right there. Pretty easy.
Great.
Is there another question?
Yes. What do you do when your business is not at the stage where you're tracking all these things? Is it just not worth having until you are with 5 to 10 clients?
So I would track this for yourself. Definitely under 30K per month. Everything is just marketing and sales, shaking up the marketplace, and create a really simple tracker for yourself to track the simple marketing and sales metrics. And it will light a fire under your ass when you can just see the numbers and you see your close rate is low and being like, oh shit, I need to work on that close rate, yada, yada, yada. But if we don't have a tracker for that, oftentimes we just don't focus on it because it's not slapping us in the face, you know?
Question,
Cool.
Andrew.
Yep.
I was thinking of not having users since I have to pay extra. Is that going to mess up if I make it a select name drop down instead of adding users?
So you could make it a single select instead of the users. You would have to have a general, well, you wouldn't even have to have them log in. You can just give them the form and then send this over. So you can use a single select, like responsible, single select, Todd, Jeff, whatever your salespeople's names are, and then you can use that. Boom. Right there instead of the username. I like the user, and I give my whole team like full reign over everything. They can never screw anything up in Airtable because you can always revert back to a previous history and a previous snapshot, and it's just saving automatically. So just some things to note there. Cool, good questions. Sweet. So what we also want in the forms here, let me go down here. And if you want some information on like the actual calls that they booked and all of that stuff, boom, let me go in here. Or list of activities, high quality prospecting conversations. Let's see if it will save. Boom, for some reason, sorry, with another change was reverted. Okay, let me publish form. Boom, go back in here. There we go. Now we have the published form. And then you just click anyone on the web. Visible to anyone. Cool. Copy. You guys can see that form. I'll put it in the chat there. And it's not just salespeople. We have Lauren fills out an end of day form every single day. Maiko, Arlie, all of them. And then everything is just zapped over to Slack so we can have really good communication across the board. But what we can do here in the notes is one, sales conversations, one, hottest prospects in pipeline, one, biggest win today, one, and then improvement for tomorrow, one. And inside of the notes that they can fill out each day, just give them a little bit more clarity on it, is they can copy this, boom, and then they can put in their sales conversations for the day. So Williams to, boom, let's just do this, 1, 2, Andrew P, boom, Lauren Turton. And then you can see exactly who they've talked to each day. And then who are the hottest prospects in the pipeline. I like our salespeople to know who, like, every single day review, oh, yeah, that person was super hot. I should reach out to them tomorrow. Like, Will, boom, Will's, Lena's, boom. And they can just write that out. Biggest win today, closed Dan Williams, boom. And then work on my objection handling tomorrow, yada, yada, yada. So then you can add in notes right here of things that you want them to review at the end of every single day, and any other information that you want to be updated on. Like, I want to know that my team members are thinking about how they can constantly improve. So that's why one thing is like, what are you going to improve tomorrow, right? So we got that in there. Perfect. Makes sense, guys? Sweet. All right, let's go into the interfaces here. Boom. Go back home. And oh, where do we go here? And this is my favorite thing to build out, are the interfaces. So let's say Larry here had some calls today. He had 4 booked, 2 showed, 2 no-shows, sold 1, and new revenue is 10,000, and then new cash is 5,000, yada, yada, yada. And then let's say he had some numbers from yesterday, boom, and 5 showed, boom. So 0 no-shows, 2 units sold, boom, 20,000, and then 5,000. So we have some data in there. So this is where it gets a lot of fun, going from the data to the interfaces. So you can just go into interfaces, start building. I always go into Blake interface, and here we can do, boom, sales end of day reports. Let's just shorten this, EOD reports, boom, next, and then blank, finish. And then when we're in here, I always start with a grid view, boom, like that. And then I can copy from settings, boom. What we might want to do in the all end of day reports is group this, boom, by responsible. Sweet. So then we can see it by each sales rep right there. And what I like to do at the top for some, for some UX, user experience, I always put a title at the top. So I'm going to put in money, sales end of day reports, put this down. And what's really cool here is that I can also add a button next to it where it's super easy to grab the form. I'm going to go back to this form, and let me move this around, move this down, share form, and I can grab this link and add it to this button. So then we can grab the sales end of day form at any time. Sales EOD, boom, form, perfect. And we can add some color here. And then we can add a chart right here and go into this. And let's say we want to make it a little competition between our sales reps of how much new revenue they've generated. And on the x-axis, we want to know who's responsible. And then on the y-axis, we want a field summary of revenue. So new revenue, boom, and make this a sum aggregate. And then in appearances, Can make this a little bit cooler. Boom. New revenue, boom, by sales rep. Cool. Now it's a competition. So then we can put number on the side, and here we can do number of booked calls. Boom. Number of booked calls. Sweet. Sum. Perfect. Got that number. And then we can duplicate this down. And let's say we want to see new revenue. Boom. New revenue. Change the color. And let's say we want to see cash collected. New cash. Boom. And new cash here. Perfect. We can extend this out, bring this in. Boom. And then we can also add, this is super important, a filter function. Add that to the top and connect it to each of these. Boom. So if I just want to see, Maiko's numbers, I can go here, go straight to Maiko, boom, and see that. Or if I just want to see Larry's numbers, boom, I can go there and just see that. So pretty cool with the filter functions. And also these things can open up. Boom, allow. If I just want to see this like that, move these things around. Perfect. New cache. And then I can see his notes on end of day right there as well. So that's a quick setup. We got the data side things down. We got the interface side things down, and this can be molded into whatever we want. And then we have an awesome automation as well that we can set up. So add trigger when form is submitted. Boom, sales end of day report. And it's this form. Then we can send over a Slack message, boom, over to our Slack channel. And we already have an end of day report, EOD, sales EOD reports. You would just set up a new Slack channel for that. And then we can see it all at a glance. So boom, date, and then let's say we want to see new revenue generated, new cash. Let's put in responsible, boom, their name, and let's say no shows, and then notes. There we go. And now what this will do, boom, is sales EOD to Slack. Instead of, oh, sorry, one more thing that's super fucking cool inside of Airtable is you can add the base record URL right there, or you can grab the interface link and put it right there. So then when this comes through in Slack, you can just click it and go directly there. So then every single day, I just have one channel to go to for my entire sales team to see how much new revenue, how much new cash, how many no-shows, and their notes for the day, whatever you put in there. So now in the past, I said 10 minutes, but that was about like 20 minutes. We've set up the data side of things for end of day reports. based on each individual sales member. And then we also set up our interface right here where we can see everything at a glance and filter it. And we've set up the automation right here to send it over to Slack. So that's what I wanted to share with you guys. It's really easy, simple to set these things up. Learning Airtable, it's kind of beating your head against a wall for a week, and then you're like, holy shit, I can create anything. If you really want to speed it up, like for the people that are watching, like hire us, especially in Systemized CEO. We'll help you set these things up. I've been doing this for 3 years, and all that good stuff. But for everybody here, I'll get you the link to this template. I'm going to refine it a little bit more and add some things to it, and streamline it. So it should be ready by Friday. And then anybody watching, if you want to get this exact template, just hashtag template down below and I'll send you over the $47 link. But that's about it for this training on setting up your sales EOD reports. Cool. Sweet. And we'll stay on Facebook Live until we say anything really bad and then we'll cut it off. But cool. If we want to go into Q&A, or are there any other questions, Lauren, on the side?
Yeah, we've got questions in the comments.
Cool.
So Stacya's wondering, is it overkill? I'm making a form in GHL and then syncing it to Airtable with Zapier and webhooks.
I love the data integration between Go High Level and Airtable. I don't love the forms in Go High Level, so we only kind of use those for sales purposes, not for client fulfillment. But what are you currently building out?
I'm actually trying to sync this end of day report for each call that the sales reps make so that it notes the account too. And as kind of, maybe it's an overkill on double ending, but
yeah, any way that you can simplify, that's always the way to go, especially with salespeople. We don't want our salespeople to get stuck in operational tasks. That's what causes salespeople to leave. A lot of the time is just doing too much operations and not focused on just driving revenue. We have a really simple automation where when they put in the notes for the sales call, it goes over to Slack as well. So I love that automation because I can see all of the outbound dials, all the sales calls, all of that stuff, all the notes just get zapped over to Slack where I just have one channel to see all of that. So that might be part of it, is just an automation from the notes section of Go High Level to Slack. So you or your clients can just see all of the notes on all the sales in one central location. Because Go High Level's notes section isn't great.
yeah. So, but they're noting it in High Level and then that's zapping it over to Slack.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah. Because they're not noting the account. So I'm like trying to make it where, and then also like if I had trying to get them also to like hit the no-show in the appointment button so I can like track the numbers in the dashboard. But if this is a better way to do it where they just fill out this form instead.
Yeah, there are some cool like dashboards that can be created for sales inside of Go High Level. But for end of day reports, the simplest way for end of day reports is just Airtable. I haven't found a great way inside of Go High Level for end of day reports. And then you will freaking love the automation from notes to Slack to see everything in one place too. So I'd set that up.
Okay.
Yeah, cool. Good questions. Sweet. What are the other questions?
How can we change the month on the 90-day hard business challenge?
Change the month? You just go into the data side of things and then you go to that column and then you can add in any month or anything like that. So everything is super editable. You would just go into the data side of things and let's see if there's not a drop down on this, but let's say this said month. Boom, you would find that column and it would be a single select form. And then you can add in any month you want. So January, February, that sort of stuff. Good question. Sweet. What else?
Will is wondering, I am managing my KPIs as a solopreneur, and my question is, should I move my organic marketing setting KPIs in a Google Doc over to Airtable?
Yes. If you, I would definitely move it out of a Google document for tracking the KPIs, especially with the cool like dashboards. Basically we want to transform data into information. So when we have like dashboards and like we can see the trends over the months, that sort of stuff, we want to be able to see it at a glance. The key is to make it as simple as possible. Make sure that you're not tracking too many metrics. Make sure that it's just the core metrics. We have that set up in our 90-day business challenge inside the Brotherhood and Sisterhood, the core metrics to track. But things, let me see if I can pull it up real quick. Do I want to do that? I might pull it up, but really number of call asks, like sales call asks, number of book calls, number of showed, new revenue, new cash collected, units sold. And then that's kind of on the sales side, like minimal viable. And on the marketing side, you just really want to track like how many content posts have you done? And then if you are running ads, like ads metrics, that sort of stuff. And then how many conversations you've had in DMs and that sort of stuff. Those are the core metrics. I wouldn't do too many more than that. What else?
That's it on the questions here on Zoom with our clients.
Yay. Sweet. If you're running a weekly workshop, how much content should you be posting? Yeah, workshops are great. I recommend it for everybody. One thing that we did, which this might plant a seed of what you can do with your workshops. Promoting workshops creates a lot of momentum in the marketplace. That's why I love it. And then it also forces us to create content and think about our content. So what we did, we just took our weekly workshops when do them on specific subjects, and then we just turned it into a 5-day or a 7-day challenge inside of our Skool group. So we did one workshop on the offers workshop and then another one on the content workshop. And then you can just turn it into a challenge in your Skool group as well. Sometimes like weekly workshops, like 2 weeks out of the month, we do like a formal one where we're going through something super specific, like the content strategy or the offers or something like that. And then usually the other 2 weeks, it's more of like Q&A style, just because like doing a new training every week is a little bit much, but every 2 weeks is super doable. I love live workshops, but just one way to think about it. What was the other thing I wanted to share? I have one thing on sales, but are there other questions here? Yeah, cool. Good stuff. One thing that I shared yesterday that I think is just super important for everybody. Hey, we're live. Let me go here. Actually, I posted in the systemized CEO trial too. This probably be better. Yeah, this. I think with DMs and call bookings, it's just like people super overcomplicate it. So I'll download this again and then put it into the chat here. File, your computer, and downloads. Boom, this. This is the easiest transition to a book sales call, whether it's for you or one of your salespeople. I just hopped in for an hour yesterday and booked 2 calls so I could create a training for the clients and my setters. But this just works like butter. Be a real human being. Open up loops, learn influence and persuasion. It's the best skill set you can ever build. And learn about their pain points, their challenges, and their goals. And then once you got that, it's super easy to transition into a sales call. Number one is the mindset inside of prospecting is you're a busy person. You have a lot going on. The way that we lose book calls and sales and all of that is like, oh, I have the next year open for a book call. When do you want to book a call? Like that sort of energy where we're needy and it's just like, I'm open anytime, loses calls. But the better frame is just like, you are a busy person. You have a lot going on. Make sure that you share that with them. For me here, like I usually don't take sales calls anymore. So I was really honest with this guy, but he was really fucking cool. So I was like, I'll take a sales call with this guy. I just said, for sure, I don't usually take sales calls anymore, but I'd be down to hop on a session with you to go more into the specifics and refine messaging around your offer, which was his main pain point. This is the key, regardless if we work together or not, planting the seed of working together. I think it'd be a super valuable session and just good to connect since we both faced the burnout journey, which I was relating back to something specific that we talked about, right? And then we want to frame it in the no. So we want them to say no. It allows them to have more control over their answer instead of forcing them into a yes. And I just said, does that sound stupid to you? And he's like, no, I'd be down for that. Like just a real conversation, real people. So the key things from this is you're busy, regardless if we work together or not. And does that sound stupid to you? Been using this for 7 years, has worked really fucking well. And another frame is like, if that doesn't sound ridiculous to you, that sort of stuff. It's called a calibrated no. Jeremy Miner teaches this as well. I'm doing a workshop for them in, is it 10 minutes or an hour here? But it's kind of like, does 2 p.m. work for a call tomorrow? But you could switch it to, would you be against having a quick call tomorrow at 2 p.m.? Would you be against that? Going into a no, a calibrated no. Works a lot better, allows them to have more control. So just use that. You guys will book sales calls just by using that frame, or somebody that you're talking to right now, maybe that you're close to transitioning into a call. You can ask for permission. Can I offer a recommendation? Yeah, go ahead. Then you would say, let's hop on a one-on-one offer session, regardless if we work together or not. I think it would be super valuable, or does that sound stupid to you? Boom, you got a book call right there. So wanted to share that with you guys. Just use that super simple transition, especially for people that are just starting out here. This is the easiest way to get past 10, 20K is just DMs, content, and easy transitions into book calls. And for Rory's still here, he's been freaking crushing it. So talk to him. All right. Cool. I have time, 10 more minutes for any specific questions, whether that's around Airtable, sales, marketing, anything like that. So, Andrew, if I understand it right, revenue would be like having contract. Yeah. So new revenue is contracted value. So let's say you have a 30K offer and it's $2,500 per month. then the new contracted value would be, or the new revenue would be 30K. The new cash collected would be 2,500. So, cool. Good question. Yeah, and one thing that we have added to our trackers and that sort of stuff, I think it's in our finance tracker, is if somebody uses Klarna or Affirm, and for all the clients here, we have the video on how to set up Klarna and Affirm with Stripe. Just go into the finances course, but get it set up if you don't right now. Works in US, Canada, and I believe the UK. And you get paid in full, and they get an awesome payment plan over 6 to 24 months. That thing has saved a lot of sales for us. And in our financial tracker, we just put in, let's say the deal is 9,800. We put in that we collected 9,800, but next to it, we have a button to click, like a checkbox that they used Klarna or Affirm, just to track that stuff separately. Cool. Good questions. What have been the takeaways, either from the Airtable build or talking about DM messaging, transition to sales calls, or any of these questions? Let's get a couple of these. Andrew, you have one?
I just thought of different ways we can use the end of day report for the different roles we have in our company and how useful that'll be. I'm pretty stoked to set that up.
Perfect, dude. Yeah, it's great for team communication, keeping everything organized. So let's go. Cool. And Stacia?
Oh no, I think you answered the question I had about the payment. Oh, so what, can you repeat what you just said too about Klarna though? Like where do you have a button, or is there training on that?
Yeah, you're in the trial. What I would do is, it will help so much. Like you'll close more deals with us. Just go straight to the financial mastery course. I believe it's the first or second video on how to set up Klarna and Affirm through Stripe. You have it set up in under 24 hours. And then on the sales call, if
I have them all set up. I think the problem is sometimes I think these sales guys don't know how to use it or use it to close with it. Like
Mhm.
I noticed in GHL I have to put, well, I told them you have to put in the address because it doesn't work, or maybe I'm doing it wrong, or do they go straight through Stripe to do it?
We go straight through Stripe, just a Stripe link. And what I tell our salespeople do is do it right there on the call and have them share their screen.
Oh,
And it takes about 2-3 minutes to get approved for everybody else here. Klarna and Affirm are freaking awesome.
okay.
Cool. Andrew, all of your sales are driven by Facebook, or you actually have leverage on another channel? So we have ads going for I've made over 8 figures through organic. And then last week I set up some ads with Arlie here. So that's a new channel that we're doing, going straight to our 7-day challenge in our Skool group. And YouTube has been freaking phenomenal. I recommend everybody set up a YouTube channel. We create really shitty looking YouTube videos, but it drives sales. And the SEO is amazing. Like Arlie, for example, put up a video just talking about sales in Mexico. Sales funnels. She has like 20 subscribers, and she just put her WhatsApp number in the description. And she had a 7-figure business owner in Mexico reach out to her just through a video that had like 10 views. So if it's specific to your ideal client, in a helpful video, that SEO will take over and find the right person for you. YouTube is awesome. Also, driving traffic, like partnerships are sweet. I do trainings in front of 7th levels, one of the biggest sales training companies. So I partner with different people and just get in front of their audiences, and then they join our Skool group, and then they join our programs. I love partnerships organically, YouTube and Skool organic. And then then ads are just like fuel on the fire for all of that stuff. So yay, Stacia, YouTube's awesome. Cool. Sweet. What else? Let's go. Robert, Alexis. Alexis, did you just get a ticket to our business mastery event?
I did.
Yay! Let's celebrate Alexis. Woo! Let's go. We have our business mastery event coming up in March 14th through 16th. Super early bird tickets are $247 right now. It will be the same location as last year at Lisa's place. I think we're capping it at 60 people this year. Should be great. So cool.
I got that too.
Sweet. Yep. YouTube shorts are good to drive people to long form videos, but long form videos are the freaking best on YouTube. I still get like recommended videos that were created like 10, 15 years ago. And then these videos will just keep living on. Yes. So Lauren will get you the details. The dates are March 14th through 16th, Lauren. It's that weekend, mid-March. Sweet. Mainly on offer creation, paid and organic marketing, and setting up your GHL and Airtable systems at that event. I'm going to bring Eli Wild back for that one. Was anybody here at the last one in March? Yeah, Dave. We had Eli Wild come in and he just hypnotized everybody for like 90 minutes on influence and persuasion. I didn't know where I was at. It was awesome. Yeah. Cool.
He teleported us, literally. It was like being like lifted in a space shuttle.
Yeah, that guy's an alien, but he's dope. Cool. All right, guys. Ty, do you have anything?
Rory
All
wants to
good.
say real quick.
Yeah. Rory?
Hey, how you guys doing? Actually, I want to give you guys this big thing because this is what I did to Andrew when I first like added him to Facebook. When you add people to Facebook and they accept your friend request, you want to go to their Facebook and dissect them, like dissect their content, their kids, their cars, whatever. So you get all this data, and when you meet Rory, the cold messenger guy, now I have all this data that we can build this conversation off, and this is how I book calls in 5 call messages. I go over their pain points, where they want to be, and I go, "Hey Andrew, I'm very busy right now, but I would love to get on a call with you. When's a great time that we can jump on a call?" Right? So it leaves them no place to tell me, "No, Rory, I don't want to talk to you." It's like, "Yeah, Rory, let's jump on the call at 3 o'clock. Does that fit your schedule?" And so like it just really makes people say yes and yes, and brainwash people when they say yes to in the inbox. When you get on the call and you re-talk about their pain points and struggles, and when you make the offer based on their struggles and pain points, that's when they go, "Man, I need this. How much do you cost, Rory?" Then there you guys go. You guys do that. I bet you own 10x your income.
100%. Great points there, Rory. Especially with the main thing that I took out of that is just like be leading at all times. Where we take it one step back. Be on the lifelong pursuit of always building influence and persuasion skill sets. Like Tony Robbins is great for this. And Matt Ryder is a really good person to follow for this. Eli Wild, Eli Sanchez, some of my favorites. And then Seventh Levels content, really, really good with this stuff. We have a whole course on this too. If you haven't watched the Influence Secrets with Eli Sanchez inside there, it's so good. And that will really help with sales calls and in prospecting conversations here. And where people lose deals is they stop leading. Here's a little like pro tip that I use. When somebody suggests something, I used to do this a lot when I was dating and all of that. Now I have a beautiful, amazing girlfriend who's on this call. But when somebody recommends something, I'm usually more of like the cheeky, fun type where instead of just me going with the flow and just being like, yeah, okay, I'll say no, LOL, just kidding. Because that flips the frame a little bit where I'm not just going with their flow, I'm leading towards my flow. And I share a couple examples in the DM course as well. But just remember, always be leading, and build up those influence persuasion skill sets. But sweet, cool. Well, I have one of my old mentors here, Alex Moscow, who helped me launch a $1.1 million event at Tribe Buyers Live. So I got to hop off and talk to him. And then I think the sisters have a call with Nikki. That'd be great.
Yes, sir.
Sweet. And then I've got to hop off Facebook Live. But you guys, thanks for being here. I'll also be on the call tomorrow as well. So just update everybody for that. And we'll go into some laser business coaching tomorrow. So bring your questions, your number one pain point, challenge, or project you're working on, and I'll help you guys out with that. Go.
Thank you, Andrew.
Ciao.
Bye,
See you.
everyone.